Hey boyos, it's your daily check-in with John V. And the misc is down, so I won't be posting till the misc is back up. So anything that I do, like diet, training, these videos, whatever, I'm not putting it on. You know, once the misc comes back up, I'm just gonna start resuming videos as normal and just forget about the ones that I didn't upload on the days the misc was down. So we're just not gonna worry about it. Right now, Revolution Nutrition, the website Revolution Nutrition, they have protein powder, and it's creatine free. That's why I wanted it for $69.99 for 6 pounds. So I'm getting two of those. So it came to $160 for 12 pounds of protein, and that's actually even cheaper than Walmart. The Walmart brand, 4 pounds for taxes in like $63. So this is actually $10 cheaper for 12 pounds, and it's no creatine. I'm gonna go off the creatine because um, when I get down to 175, I don't want to be retaining a lot of water. Every pound has to count, right? So no creatine. I might as well go off it as soon as possible. I did order some pre-workout too off of Amazon. I tried to cancel it because I forgot I already had bought some in my and kept in my room, and the stuff I bought off Amazon was more expensive. But I tried to cancel it and they wouldn't let me. And oh well, I might just call and complain and say, "Hey, you wouldn't let me cancel this, and it was still just being processed, not shipped." And they might give me a discount, right? So get what I can. But the pre-workout I have and the pre-workout I ordered has no creatine in it, so gotta get out creatine. Um, I'm probably not going to do a really long video today. I might, but I know some of you boyos enjoy these videos. And like I was saying before with the last video, it's easier to do it from my webcam than my phone. Because if I do it from my phone, I have to upload it to OneDrive. Um, I will caption the video and say it's my daily check-in and in quotes that the misc is down. So you won't see this video on the misc, but you will see it on YouTube if you're subscribed to me. Um, I don't know what else to say. Today I had for breakfast, I had a weird breakfast. It was a big piece of cheese, quite a large piece of cheese, and a peanut butter and jam sandwich. And I didn't go too crazy on the jam and peanut butter, but still, that came to about 1,000 calories for the sandwich and the cheese. And then my second meal before my workout, I had a large can of peas, which was about 225 calories. Still nothing crazy. And I plan on, before I go to bed, have a steak with the fat trimmed, some broccoli, and an orange. And all of that will bring me to roughly 2,000 calories for the day. Now, with my daily diet in my thread, some days I'm cheating a bit, and I actually do have a protein bar, which is like 160 calories, and I don't factor it in. But I'm still under. If I lose 7 pounds for month two, I'm happy. 7 pounds. But I'm worried. I'm thinking it might only be like 6. But if that's the case, I'll just be more strict with my diet for month three, right? But 7 pounds will be acceptable. Eight's good. 7 will be acceptable though. Also, with going off creatine, it's going to take a while, but that'll make me drop some weight to water weight, right? Because I've went off creatine before, and within a matter of days of going off creatine, I can see a reduction in my size slightly. So it will do something. Um, what else to say? I didn't do anything today. I did my training session. You won't see that on the misc either. I did a back session, back and biceps, just 5 sets of chin ups. I just matched the reps I had done the last back workout, and 4 sets of bent rows with 185. And I actually lost reps on the second, third, and fourth sets, but I matched the reps on the first set. And I actually felt it more in my upper back this time, the bent rows. And I did 4 sets instead of 3 with the bent rows. And barbell curls, I still did 95. I matched the reps I did before, but did 4 sets instead of 3. Did 8, 6, 5, 4. Now, realistically, I could have done like 8, 8, 8, 8. But I don't want to completely fatigue my biceps, right? I don't want to take days to get my biceps recovered, right? But I will probably increase the weight on the barbell curls maybe next session. I like the rep range I'm working in on biceps. I don't like doing extremely high reps. Um, what becomes a factor with biceps when I'm training them? Pain. It gets really painful doing high reps. Even 8 reps is somewhat painful, but when I'm getting up to like 12, 15 reps, it's so fucking excruciatingly painful. Not in a bad way either. It burns. It burns real bad. No other exercise burns like barbell curls. Um, Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that means my biceps have a lot of potential to really grow, my biceps and forearms. And that is true because my upper back, biceps, and forearms are my best body parts. And I neglected biceps and forearms for a long time, right? That's why they're not massively impressive. And I don't want to have enormous biceps compared to the rest of my body. It just looks ridiculous, right? Um, I know guys that they train their biceps all the fucking time, like every other day. But every other muscle group they train like every 10 days. And because they want big arms, because they're like autistic and think that big arms is some kind of like, you know, medal of honor or something. And it's like, nobody cares about having big arms if the rest of your body looks like shit, right? Nobody cares. I'd rather have a really good chest, shoulders, and back than have big arms, right? But some guys, like the guy I'm thinking of, he's been training a long time, and he's so delusional. He's schizophrenic like me, but he doesn't take meds, and he's so fucking delusional about training. He seems to think if he just trains long enough and hard enough, he's gonna look like Ronnie Coleman. And then at the case, I'm like, bro, your first like couple years, that's where 90% of your progress is gonna be, 80 to 90%, and he won't listen. And he still looks like shit. He's still fat. He lost like 20 pounds in 5 years, and he's still fat because he's delusional and thinks he's all muscle, and he's not. And he's going to be like 70 years old before he actually gets down to a reasonable body weight and be ripped. And by then, it's too late. Nobody cares if you're ripped at 70, except for, you can brag and say, well, I'm in really good shape to be 70, but you're past your prime. You're not going to be winning bodybuilding competitions and shit when you're 70. I'm not aware of any bodybuilding competitions for seniors. Your prime is when you're like 30, 30, 35, maybe a bit younger, obviously. But the thing is, all the lifters I know in real life are idiots. They're all delusional. They all make up stories about themselves. And every single guy I know that lifts, when I ask them how much they can lift on a movement, and they tell me, and then when I call them out on it in person, they can't do that much. So, I'm real. I post videos. I back up my shit. I'm not a liar. I back up what I can do. I maxed at what did I do? 285 for a single on bench, using all my leverages to my advantage. No pause. And I think if I had kept maxing out for a couple weeks, I could have hit 300, maybe even 305. But I didn't bother because then I switched up my training style and started doing higher reps, higher volume, shorter rests between sets. But I have such a low tolerance for other people. Like I can't handle other people, and even living here, like people will, like my sister and her boyfriend, once in a while they'll make like a dig against me, and if I say anything to them and I can't stand it, like they'll make these little smart remarks to me, and I can't handle it. It's just bullshit. I just want to explode at them, be like fuck right off. But it's not my house, right? But that's the thing. Living with other people, you have to put up with their bullshit. Like, it's not terrible. I've had worse living situations. I've had living situations where I had absolutely no respect, and I was on equal level with the other people I was living with, but they had no respect for me at all. They walked all over me, and it's no good. Here is not so bad. Nobody really bothers me. Nobody goes out of their way to annoy me or bother me. But if I try to initiate conversation with any adults here, they give me shit. They treat me like a piece of dirt, right? So, but it's not terrible. It's tolerable for now, at least. I don't know what it'll be like if I'm here another 3 years. But like I said, I've had worse living arrangements. Like when I was living with an ex and my friend and his girlfriend at the time, and my ex, she would have a guy that would come over visiting, and he treated me with absolutely no respect at all. He was a fucking dirtbag. But a lot of people didn't like him anyway. They said he was a creep and a weirdo. And after me and her broke up, he tried to get with her. And when that happened, she cut him off. She told him that they couldn't be friends anymore. So some people are just creeps, man. Some guys are fucking creeps. Like, I don't consider myself a creep because, you know, I know my limits. I stay within my limits. I know my role. I know my place, right? I know what I'm good at. Like, I try not to step on other people's toes, right? And I don't go for my friends' exes, even if it's people that I am acquaintances with, and actually had meaningful conversations with. I'm not gonna go for their ex-girlfriends if I knew them when they were together. It's just I'm not that kind of guy. There's enough people in the world. I don't have to do that. You know, like I've known people, and they're they or their girlfriends would get passed around a circle, basically. You know, over a matter of 10-year period, she ends up with you know all buddies' friends. Basically, the town whore. I try to stay out of that shit. I'm a loner. 12-minute video. We can go a bit longer. But yeah, new jacket. I pointed that out last daily check-in I had. But yeah, I think tomorrow I'm not going to be training because I trained back today, right? So I have to have a day in between before I train push day again. So I'm going to try to go harder on my training days now after tonight's training. Um, more volume, more volume. Um, just because. Um, but yeah, I can't wait to get my own place. Get out of here. But yeah, I think another week or so, I can go to hit the food bank up again, get some more free food. Yeah, but that steak and broccoli and orange is gonna taste really good tonight before bed. Can't wait. But yeah, when I go back to the city, I do have friends in the city, and I don't really associate with them. And maybe it's better that way. Maybe that's why they're still my friends, because what happens, I lose friends because I'll start seeing them too much, and then they just don't want anything to do with me. They just cut me off. But one of my friends in the city, I lived with him a couple different times, but he's schizophrenic, like I was saying, and he's delusional, and I can't handle him. He'll say shit to me and get in my face, try to start something with me. He gets jealous of me, and I can't handle people like that. It stresses me out. When I'm around people that are crazy, that have mental illnesses, that don't take medication, it starts making me crazy. It starts making me feel like I'm the insane one. And I'm not, because I take medication. I can actually carry on a coherent conversation with someone. Um, but yeah, like Smack was saying on here, on the misc, he was saying, he knows somebody that's schizophrenic, and there's no rhyme or reason to what he's saying, and he'll start going off on talking about aliens and spirits eating his feet and stuff. And yeah, yeah, I all the schizophrenics I know, every single schizophrenic person I know in real life do not take medication for their illness, and they're the same way. They will go off talking about the craziest fucking bullshit, and it starts making me feel like I'm crazy. but I'm not the crazy one because I sought help. But, you know, those people, they all have really lonely lives because they're intolerable people. Nobody can handle being around them. Now, my issue, like, I'm a loner. I don't really have any friends. I don't associate with anybody. But my issues are different than that because it's not my mental illness. It's just, it's part of who I am as a person because I have problems from my childhood, right? And like I had stated before, I'm gonna look into some counseling to help deal with my issues that I have. Like, the first thing they ask when you go to one of those mental health counseling sessions is they say, "What do you expect to get from this, from counseling?" And obviously, I can't expect a cure, but I can expect, like, you know, a band-aid solution or a way to cope with my issues, right? And I never really had problems making friends back in high school when I was in grade 10, my first year of grade 10. I gained quite a large circle of friends. I gained like 12 friends. We were quite a tight circle. We all played a card game, a collectible card game called Magic. So on lunch break, we would all get together and just play cards with each other. And sometimes after school, we'd arrange to get together at one of our houses, and there'd be like 10 or 12 of us, and we'd all play cards together. And our friend circle kind of just disbanded after school, and because I dropped out when I was 18, which was a couple years after I gained that circle of friends, right? And I was only like grade partially 10 and partially 11, and I dropped out. And when I dropped out, the whole circle fell apart because I was the one holding it together, apparently. Because there was outsiders of our circle that, once in a while, like, put out time to talk with us and stuff. And they would say, like, John, he's the leader of your group because he's the oldest. And I didn't want it. And they would say, he doesn't want it at all. He's definitely the leader because he doesn't want the role at all. And, that proved to be true because after I dropped out of school, the circle just fell apart. They disbanded into mini groups of 2 or 3 each one, or some of them were loners and just stayed by themselves. Like my best friend at the time, he became a real loner, and that's what he originally was before I'd come along. But he claimed to be the leader of the group. He was not, because now in life he's a complete loner, and he defeats himself because he has potential, just like everybody does, but he lets his own insecurities hold him back. I try not to now, and I'm comfortable with being on video. I'm comfortable with speaking in front of a crowd and everything like that now. But 15 years ago, I was not comfortable at all with myself. Not at all. I was so insecure with myself, no confidence, nothing. But 15 years ago, I was getting laid. I'm not getting laid anymore. Looks are very important. Like, you can be good looking and you can get laid. You can act like you're borderline autistic and handicapped and retarded, and you will still get laid as long as you're attractive. And even in the sorry state I'm in right now, like, I have improved over the past, 6 weeks that I've been dieting. But even in the sorry state I'm in now, I think I could still get laid if I wanted to. It's just I'd have to really lower my standards, and I'm not doing that because I'd rather just use my hand than settle for, laying some fat ugly chick. Gross. But yeah, boyos, we all got standards. Some people might not, but like, I see people that are fat together, and I always think, like, why are they together? Do they find each other attractive? Like, I don't find them attractive. Like, I don't understand how fat people stay together. Like, it makes no sense to me. What holds them together? Like, if I'm not attracted to a woman, then I don't see her as more than a friend at most. Obviously, otherwise I'd be gay. If physical attraction wasn't a factor, I'd be literally, I could be gay because I'd get with guys. I'm not physically attracted to men. So, it makes no sense, you know. And like the women I was with, none of them were that really anything special because I always scored based on my looks alone. They always told me, I thought you were good looking. I never put effort into, you know, seducing somebody. It was just based on looks alone. So I always dated below my league. I dated women that were beneath me, basically. If I actually put myself out there and tried and actually settled down in one place and established roots and got to know somebody over a matter of years, I could probably score somebody pretty good, right? Once I'm done looks maxing and establish myself in life and get my own place and decide this is where I'm going to stay kind of thing because my whole adult life has been up in the air. I have moved probably like 40 times in my adult life. I haven't settled down at all. But yeah. But I really gotta, if not tomorrow, the next day, I'm gonna try to do it tomorrow. Hit the hairdresser shop and get my beard trimmed up, get the sides and back of my hair trimmed up as well. And I know some of you boyos are saying, finasteride is a lost cause for me, that I'm too bald, that there's no hope. But rather than give up, I'm going to try because I do have hair to salvage. And at the very least, finasteride's just going to stop the balding, right? Instead of it letting it get worse. So it's worth a shot. But I know a lot of you boyos just talk shit on the misc. You know, I do it sometimes. But yeah, that's life. But yeah, maybe we'll cut it off there, boyos. I gotta make my steak and broccoli, and that's gonna taste really, really good, I think. Been looking forward to that all day. I was originally thinking I was gonna have some protein powder for the last meal of the day, but it's not filling enough. It's not enough calories, right? And having a steak with broccoli and an orange, that'll put me at exactly 2,000 calories, so that's pretty good. I noticed though my legs have atrophied a lot in just 2 months of not training them, and I have done one training session almost a month ago for legs, but they're still atrophying. They're shrinking because these pants used to be skin tight before. I could barely sit down. It was basically choking my legs, and now there's a lot of give. There's a lot of room in the legs of my pants, so they've definitely atrophied. And it's just the glycogen and water from training them mostly. Um, but that's a sad reality because if I'm gonna arm wrestle next year, there's no point in training legs, right? Just do the bare minimum of like light cardio, walking basically, maybe the odd deadlift session, that's it. I might once in a month do like a high volume lag session of like front squats and lunges and shit like that, but that'd be it. Oh, I'm so itchy. But I'm so fat I can't reach around, itch my back, scratch my back. But yeah, boys, we're gonna cut it off there. So you won't see this on the misc, but you will see it on YouTube if you subscribe to me. So if you watched this far, thank you for watching, and peace out.